Welcome back to Walking the Path podcast with your host, Rogleio Diaz. And today we are going to be going into the spiritual awakening journey, the unveiling, the truth about what comes with this spiritual path. And we're going to do things a little different today. I have some structure here. Some of you that know me, I like to flow a lot, right? But it's always good to try some new things. So what we're going to be going into today in regards to the awakening journey is where it starts. And it starts in here. It's an inner journey when you first awaken, right? It's like you feel this calling within for a deeper meaning of life, to go on a quest to find more of yourself, right? And there's usually something really bad that happens, like some catastrophe that awakens you and like, oh man, it makes you think like you can't keep living like this. You can't stop not truly being you, right? And it's a necessary stage, it's a necessary step to even begin walking this path. And if you're watching this, it's because you answered it. You answered the call within to evolve, to expand, to be more. You wanted more from yourself, from your life. So you decided to awaken, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to be able to give yourself permission to awaken, right? It really is, my friends. Also, a couple of signs of an awakening is you actually seeing angel numbers. It's you having so many synchronistic moments within your life. Seeing things being reflected to you, triggers maybe, of what needs your focus, what needs your attention right now, what needs your healing right now. There's so many signs in the spiritual awakening journey. Maybe you're thinking about going to a retreat and you keep seeing signs of new retreats that are coming up, or you start seeing signs on your YouTube channel or ads. Like, it's crazy. You really attract your own healing in that sense because you're ready for it, right? There's angel numbers, all these things that come with it. But I want you to know that it's not so much the universe reflecting it back, but you asking the universe to reflect it back. Your higher self asking for that guidance. You're guiding yourself, so to speak, right? When you see the angel numbers, when you see the billboards, when that song comes on that gives you the clarity that you're looking for, you're giving that to yourself. It's very empowering to know that, right? But all that, with all that being said, there's also a dark side to the spiritual awakening journey, right? And it's all perspective, guys. It really is. Every person, it's like an initiation, or many initiations, honestly. you go through what's called the dark night of the soul. And it's when you just completely lose your sense of self, your sense of identity. You really question who you are, where your life has gone up until that point, the meaning of your life, the meaning of you. And it's such a powerful day of reckoning. It's such a powerful experience because you change so much afterwards. You redefine yourself. You start seeing the trauma that's been in you that has clouded your perception. And these patterns that you play out day after day, repeating the same kind of day, the same life. Right? The 9 to 5, same food. Your awareness actually gets focused on that. And you start to see why you're acting the way you act, why you're taking those actions. It really is like, it's so freaking life-changing, right? It's so life-changing, and it perpetually changes the course of your life, the trajectory of your life, right? But it's painful. It really is, guys. It's freaking painful, and it involves facing the depths of your inner struggles. Like it really forces you to go so deep within you and confront those aspects, those shadows, quote unquote, that you will do anything not to feel, that you avoid with with everything you have, right? You'll do anything not to feel that, not to see that version of you. But there's so much power waiting for you after. There's so many gifts that come with you looking at yourself. Because if you don't, this is why we stay the same. That's why people die at 70, 80 with their dreams in their coffin. Because they couldn't change themselves. They couldn't look at themselves. Right? That's why people drink themselves to death. They go to a substance. They'll look for anything to escape. I'm telling you, I freaking lived that, right? When I was 22. Like, you don't need that. You don't need to go through all that. If you can sit and allow it. It's the letting, it's the allowing of these processes to take place, these emotions to feel. That'll set you free, right? And that'll lead you more to yourself. So I guess what I'm trying to say is embrace the shadow work. Embrace the inner work that comes with this journey. Nothing but gifts are there. If you're willing to lean into them, if you're willing to go into them. Do you have the courage? Do you have the strength? Do you believe in yourself enough to discover more of you? No one can make that choice for you, Like, no one can make that choice for you. And I know it's like you're trying to look at the darkest aspects of you. But there's so much profound growth and healing that comes with that. Like when I began, guys, like I remember drinking, partying, just shooting the shit, right? Shooting the shit with my friends and not having a care in the world. But I was so lost. I had no purpose. I didn't know myself. I lost myself, if anything. I remember telling that to a mentor one time. I had a coaching session. I told him, I feel like I lost myself, man. And the mentor couldn't even fathom that thought himself. Like him telling himself I lost myself. That's how deep I was, right? But it took the shadow work, the inner work, to redefine myself. Because who I was at that time, it was me, right? It was me. It was a version of me, but it was an outdated version of me. It wasn't who I actually wanted to be. I was just on autopilot, right? These programs were kicking my ass, and they were controlling me. Life had its grip on me. I didn't have my grip on life. I had little to no control. And it's crazy because that's one of the most successful times of my life, right? When I was at the personal training studio, and I had my studio, I had my clients, and that was when I was like really the most damaged. The irony, huh? But the dark nights of the soul, and it happened multiple times, which is a really great thing because these are all chances to ascend. These are all chances to evolve, to be more, to become more. They're necessary. They're necessary stepping stones in your awakening, in your spiritual journey. Embrace the shadow work, guys. There's nothing to fear. Don't fear yourself. Don't fear what your higher self is trying to show you. It's trying to unveil more of your heart. It's trying to unlock more of your true potential, your true powers, your true gifts. But are you going to let them? Right? Will you let it? it's like you got to surrender to your own transformation. Can you really surrender to your own transformation and accept you? Like, thank God you are who you are. Thank God you are you. Don't try to be somebody else. Like, surrender to your transformation. You're unique. You're special. You're enough. You don't have to try to be a replica. Look at you. Look at what you've been able to do. Look at the journey you've walked. Every time you failed, every time you wanted to quit, or maybe you did give up, but you got back up. Why would you try to be somebody else? You gotta know who you are, my friend. You gotta tell yourself your worth. You gotta see your value. You gotta see you. Because no one's gonna do that for you. And it's no one's job to do that for you either. So surrender. Let your higher self lead the charge. Let your higher self lead the way. It has you. It always will. You know? If you can surrender to the process, even when it feels overwhelming, you embrace a new version of you. Every single time. But I just hope you know that who you are, it's more than enough. You don't have to be something else. You don't have to try to put yourself in a box or again be a replica of somebody that you look up to. Just be you. Like the real authentic you that speaks from the heart, that sings from the heart, whatever it is that creates art from the heart. But it's you, you know? I've been listening to this book, The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. And he says, the art comes first, then you come first, then you come, and then the audience. Right? Be a channel. Be a channel for your self-expression. That's what's trying to be released. Your spirit has something to share. Let it out. Try to be something you're not. It's funny, Bob Proctor says, like, the problem is not who you think you are. It's who you think you're not. Right? You think there's not this version of you that can tap into an infinite amount of success, of abundance, of love, of healing, of everything and anything you want. That's the real issue. And you can't get to that point until you give yourself permission to be free to be yourself. Bill Gove, love that guy, man. He says, if I want to be free, I gotta be me. Not the me my wife thinks I should be. Not the me you think I should be. Not the me my kids think I should be. But me. But the me I think I should be. If you want to be free, you gotta be you. In every way. And don't try to seek acceptance. Don't try to seek love, validation, love. Don't try to have somebody tell you what you're worth, or that you're enough, or appreciate what you've done, or your accomplishments. That's an inner child wound. Do that for you. Give that to yourself. Tell yourself it's gonna be okay. When you realize you have you got yourself. Nothing that happens to you can ever make you stop. Because you know that you can handle it. It makes you tap into a strength that you didn't even know you had. But are you willing to go there? Are you willing to take yourself there? Hold yourself. And embrace the darkness. A lot of adults are afraid of their light. Adults are afraid of the darkness. But there's no light without darkness. There's no darkness without light. You have to be able, to see both. Because there's power in both. And embrace it. Embrace it, guys. the last thing I wanted to cover in today's podcast episode goes into the expansion of consciousness that comes with the spiritual awakening. So we have, we have what's called a unity consciousness, right? And the awakening process often leads to a sense of interconnectedness and oneness with all living beings. When you can see there's no separation, your perception shifts. There's a higher perception. You start to see everybody with more love, with loving awareness. You start to see that everybody's a reflection in one way or another. Right? Like you see, and it's crazy because when you look in somebody's eyes, you can literally see your own reflection. Could it be more clear, But like there's no separation. Like everybody around you, it's your brother, it's your sister. Embrace them with love. And you also learn how to embrace yourself with love because you're whole, right? Like there's a wholeness. You're able to tap into your wholeness. And the only thing that really separates us from seeing this unity consciousness, from believing this separation, is judgment. You judge yourself, you judge others. It's not real. Like this is it's pointless. Like, and it's funny because while it's unity consciousness, everybody is walking their own journey. We compare ourselves so much. And say, oh man, but this person's over there and I'm over here. And like, it's your journey. It's your challenges. It's your truth. That's what makes this world so special. You get to be you. You're a unique creation. Right? And said we're all connected, but we're all just doing our part. Right? We really are just doing our part. Whether that's service, whether that's working at a restaurant, it's like we're all just giving in one way or another back to the collective consciousness. And then another result or vehicle of expanding our consciousness while walking this awakening journey is transcending the ego. Right? We transcend the ego, my friend. And there's a lot of challenges that comes with that. But it paves the way for spiritual growth. You can't grow without challenging who you used to be or your sense of identity. And your ego, your paradigm will fight tooth and nail to have you remain the same, to have you stay comfortable, to make sure you don't grow. But you gotta know there's so much more than that. Your spirit will always help you transcend the ego. And it's not about eliminating it. The ego serves its purpose. But it is about becoming more. It is about realizing that you're more than this physical body. You're more than your name. You're more than who you think you are now. Right? But it'll fight tooth and nails. If you can do one thing that gets you more in alignment every day with who you truly want to be, that's one way to transcend the ego. Creating a new identity. It's really just giving yourself permission to be who you actually want to be. Right? Like it's a beautiful thing when you know who you are. It's taken me so long to really say, wow, like I'm really beginning to know myself. Or it's always a journey. You can always find more of you. But I think one of the freest things that I've been able to do for myself on this journey is really not care. Like really not care if you trigger somebody. Not saying to be mean, not saying, to do it on purpose, right? But meaning like you understand yourself and realize that that's something they're dealing with. You don't have to take that on all the time. You don't have to try to fix it, right? Try to save them. Like you don't have to do that. Like you're on your journey, right? But it's so freeing. It's so freeing when you don't allow the influence of others to dictate who you are, where you're going, who you're becoming, and you just trust yourself. You just trust yourself that your spirit is guiding you. It's so freeing, guys. But it takes time. It's a process to get there, to really not care. To really say something might be a counter perspective to somebody else, but it's your truth. But it's what you actually believe in, or just to even say no to something. It's hard, right? But what's harder is lying to yourself. What's harder is constantly betraying your truth to please somebody else. That's why you have to make sure you choose yourself every time. Not in a selfish way, but in a knowing who you are kind of way. You gotta choose yourself on this awakening journey. Because it's so easy to get lost in helping others. It's so easy to undervalue yourself, to not know your worth. But you gotta find it. You gotta find it. Just you are. Like just you being you. You are here. You're the gift, right? You don't have to do so much or prove so much to know you're worthy of everything your heart desires. And you can give that. You can give everything to yourself, right? You can give everything to yourself, guys. But the truth about spiritual awakening journey is to find your truth. That's really, I spent, I don't know how long it's been, 15, 20 minutes just to give you this main message. You're the truth. Share it. Share your truth, my friend. And everything that you've gone through up until this point, everything that's coming, it's all leading you back to yourself. The real you. True essence. Even if it hurts, even if it's painful, it's guiding you back to you. You are the one you seek. Right? You're seeking yourself. In every situation, circumstance, person, it's reflecting the universe. It reflects something because your spirit wants to grow. Your spirit wants to express itself. So it needs this situation to do so, right? Or you manifest a circumstance or a person to do so you can get the lesson, get the wisdom, begin knowing yourself, and act on it. Most important, freaking act on it, guys. Wisdom without implementation is worthless. Act on yourself, right? Act on yourself. I hope today helped, guys. I hope this podcast episode helped. And if you're looking to work one-on-one with me, go ahead and check out the link in my description. I'm a higher calling embodiment guide, helping spiritual entrepreneurs identify, embody, and share their gifts with the world. And I'm also a shadow work integration coach, helping you release the limiting stories, limiting perceptions, limiting beliefs, trauma that's holding you back from actually being yourself, from knowing yourself. It's the kind of work I do, my friends. And if you click the link down below, you'll be able to learn more. But either way, it was a pleasure serving you today. I hope this podcast episode helped you. Till next time, divine love.